Life is like a river, endlessly flowing, carrying with it moments of joy, sorrow, simple happiness, and, at times, deep wounds. Along this journey, each of us has faced moments of despair, moments when our hearts were scarred by mistakes, betrayal, or the careless words of others. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, how can we free ourselves from the burdens that weigh so heavily on our souls? The answer lies in two simple yet powerful words: forgiveness. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is not surrender. It is an act of compassion, a reflection of unconditional love. When we forgive, we don't just release our anger. We open a new path, a path that leads to freedom and peace within ourselves. But forgiveness isn't easy. Sometimes even the thought of forgiving can make our hearts ache. How can we forgive someone when the wounds they caused are still fresh, still painful? How can we let go of the hurt when it lingers in our memory, refusing to fade? Today's story will take you on that journey, a journey to learn what it truly means to forgive. Not just to free others from the weight of their wrongdoings, but more importantly, to free yourself. So take a moment to listen. Let your heart feel light, and allow yourself to rediscover the peace that has been missing for far too long. The meaning of forgiveness. Forgiveness is more than just letting go of anger. It is a profound journey of healing. When we choose to forgive, we're not only releasing others from the weight of their guilt, but we're also freeing ourselves from the chains of pain and suffering. Forgiveness is a gift, one that enriches both the forgiven and the forgiver. Forgiveness carries the power of compassion, love, and selflessness. It helps us move beyond our wounds, soothing the cracks in our souls. Even more, it opens the door to inner peace, a peace that no amount of wealth or success could ever provide. However, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, nor does it mean excusing wrongdoing. It isn't about accepting what is wrong. It's about choosing to let go of emotional burdens and refusing to let the past dictate the present. Forgiveness doesn't diminish our worth. Instead, it reveals the strength and growth of a courageous heart. The more we embrace love and understanding, the more we realize this truth. Those who hurt us are often the ones who are most hurt themselves. Beneath their stubbornness or harmful actions lies pain, fear, and sometimes a silent cry for help. Forgiveness, therefore, is not just an act of grace. It is an act of empathy and mutual healing. So when we forgive, our hearts expand. And within that greater heart, we rediscover freedom, peace, and a renewed faith in love. Forgiveness transforms not just relationships, but our very lives, reminding us that in giving grace, we receive it tenfold. The root of mistakes. No one is born perfect. Mistakes are often shaped by circumstances, by the wounds people carry, and by a lack of understanding during different stages of life. But behind every mistake lies a deeper cause, one that becomes clear if we take a moment to pause and reflect. Think of a child who grows up in deprivation, never knowing the warmth of love or guidance, only exposed to violence, deceit, and the constant struggle to survive. Or imagine another child, surrounded by material wealth, but with parents too busy to be present, to listen, or to teach. Both grow up unsteady, with no one to guide them in morality or emotional resilience. How could they possibly differentiate right from wrong? How could they have the strength to take control of their actions? In today's world, societal pressures, family dynamics, and personal struggles all contribute to the making of mistakes. When people are overwhelmed by stress, fatigue, or the weight of negative energy, it's easy to fall into poor decisions. A careless word, a rash action, these are often the results of a spirit worn thin, one no longer capable of standing strong against life's challenges. But does this make them entirely deserving of blame? We might judge their actions, but have we ever stopped to ask ourselves what we've done to help? Mistakes are often silent cries for help from souls who have lost their way, yearning for a compassionate hand to lift them up, for a heart big enough to give them another chance. Remember, we've all had moments of weakness and missteps, and sometimes all it takes is a little understanding, a little kindness, to save someone from losing themselves completely. How to forgive. Forgiveness is a challenging journey, one that requires us to face and overcome some of the deepest wounds in our hearts. But how can we truly forgive when the thought of another's wrongdoing still stings, when the pain resurfaces every time we remember? First, understand this. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. We don't need to erase memories or deny our feelings. Forgiveness means accepting that the mistake happened, but refusing to let it continue to control our thoughts and emotions. It's a choice to free ourselves from the burden of resentment. To forgive, we must start by expanding our hearts. Imagine the hurt caused by someone else occupying a space larger than our hearts can hold. To truly forgive, we need to let go of rigid expectations, selfish needs, or unyielding principles that take up space. Letting go is not weakness. It is creating room for love and compassion to take root. Forgiveness also takes time. Some wounds cannot heal overnight. If your heart isn't yet strong enough to accept and release, give yourself permission to pause. But don't close it off forever. Instead, nurture empathy and remember that those who hurt us are often victims of their own fears, regrets, and struggles. Finally, forgive with sincerity. Don't seek recognition or expect anything in return. And don't let selfish motives creep into your decision. Forgiveness isn't about pleasing someone else. It's about liberating yourself. It is the greatest gift you can give, and it's one that comes back to you in profound ways. The benefits of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not just a noble act, it brings profound benefits to both our soul and our life. When we choose to forgive, the first gift we receive is freedom. No longer trapped by resentment or weighed down by painful memories, our hearts begin to feel lighter, more at peace. Forgiveness is a healing balm for emotional wounds. When we forgive, the hurt within us softens, and negative emotions like anger, hatred, or envy dissolve. In their place, compassion and love grow, creating a calmer, more generous state of mind. Forgiveness also paves the way for building broken relationships. It becomes a bridge between hearts, allowing us to reconnect and better understand one another. A single act of forgiveness can spark hope, rebuild trust, and revive what once seemed lost. Forgiveness helps us grow as individuals. It teaches us how to confront pain, let go of toxic emotions, and accept that life is imperfect. Those who can forgive are often the strongest because they refuse to let the past dictate their future. Ultimately, forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves, a gift of freedom and happiness. When the weight of anger and resentment is lifted, we realize that forgiveness isn't something we do for others. It's something we do for ourselves. An open heart, free of burdens, is one that knows how to love and embrace true peace. The journey of forgiveness. The journey of forgiveness is one of love, compassion, and liberation. But perhaps the most profound lesson forgiveness teaches us is about the nature of being human. None of us is perfect. We all stumble, make mistakes, and hope for the chance to make things right. Forgiveness is not just an act that helps others correct their wrongs. It's also a way for us to heal ourselves. When we forgive, we refuse to let pain and resentment take control of our lives. Our hearts are no longer imprisoned by the past, but are free to love and to embrace the beauty of the present moment. Remember, forgiveness is not about forgetting. nor is it a sign of weakness. It is a strength that rises above pain and an acknowledgement that everyone has the capacity to change. Forgiving others not only helps them find their way back to the right path, but it also allows us to become better, stronger versions of ourselves. Life is fleeting, and we never know when the chance to forgive will slip away. If you're holding on to anger or resentment today, try letting it go. Open your heart and experience the peace that forgiveness can bring. As Victor Hugo once wrote, "To love is to know how to forgive." Forgiveness is not just a gift for others, it is a light that illuminates the path to our own happiness. So if your heart has even a little room left, choose to forgive, not just once, but as often as needed,